Now, far-right parties are continuing their increase in support across many European states. Here in France, the far-right National Rally Party is 13 points ahead of Emmanuel Macron's Renaissance Party. This ahead of European parliamentary elections scheduled for the month of June. For more, we can bring in France 24's international affairs editor, Philip Turle. Philip, great to see you. Why is the far-right doing so well?
Well, I think there are several reasons, Delano, you can put this down to. If you look at the opinion polls straight away, they're giving the far right, the candidate for the far right National Rally is Jordan Bardella in France. He's the president of the party, which is run by Marine Le Pen, formerly known as the National Front. They are way ahead of all the other parties here in France, a 13-point lead on 32%. Compared to only 19% for the Renaissance Party of Emmanuel Macron. I think there are several reasons for this. The first one is that the National Rally has been best able to rally the supporters who voted for it in the first round of presidential elections back in 2022. So far, 9 out of 10 voters say they would re-vote again for the National Rally this time round, with only 6 out of 10 saying they would vote for Emmanuel Macron's party again. You can see the figures behind me here. 11% for the Socialist Party, 7.5 both for the far left France Unbowed and for the right-wing Republican Party, 6.5% for the Ecologists and 6% for the even further to the right Reconquête Party, which is a rival for Marine Le Pen's National Rally, but the National Rally far ahead on 32%. So the second point of what I was just saying is that Jordan Bardella has also widened his appeal, particularly to older voters in France, those who would have been more inclined to cast their ballots in favour of Emmanuel Macron last time round are now more willing to vote for Jordan Bardella in the European elections. There's also another reason, and that is that Emmanuel Macron is basically unpopular in France right now. If you look at the opinion polls, he's only on 25% of approval ratings amongst the French population. 69% say they don't think he's a good President of France. This is having a knock-on effect on the support for his movement in the European elections. And one other point is that Raphael Glucksmann, who is the Socialist Party candidate, has seen a big increase in his support, the biggest for years for that party, which used to run France in the old days. Remember, François Hollande and François Mitterrand were both socialists. He's seen a big increase in support. That's also siphoned off the support that would have gone to Emmanuel Macron's Renaissance movement.
And what are some of the concerns of voters who would typically vote for the far right?
Well, what is interesting here, Delano, is that this is seen as a referendum on national policy within France right now. So many of the issues that people are going to be voting for, that they see the far right National Rally more able to deal with, are those that directly concern them here in France, notably spending power. That's 58% say they are interested in that, just below immigration on 63%, insecurity, healthcare and pensions, environmental protection, social inequality, all very domestic issues which people are concerned about. These are what National Rally voters' main concerns are. That's why they're voting for that party in these elections. They say it's better able to deal with those issues than any other party in France. But also on the European front, what Jordan Bardella and Marine Le Pen are calling for is a Europe of nations, no longer a European Union. They say each nation should be able to decide what it wants to do individually, but be part of a club of nations, but no longer be intertwined with each other like the European Union. But there's been a shift in what the National Rally was always calling for in the past. That was leaving the EU. That has been swept under the carpet. Leaving the Eurozone, that also is a non-issue now. So there has been a slight shift. And also the Common Agricultural Policy is something else that the National Rally has changed its view on. Before they said that should be scrapped and it should be a national policy for agriculture. Now they're no longer saying that. They're saying keep the CAP, but it needs to be topped up with funds from within France itself. So there's been a shift. But as far as Ukraine goes, and just to finish on that issue, what Jordan Bardella says is no access to the European Union for the Ukrainians to protect European agriculture, and a very sort of passive comment on support for Ukraine, saying that he would like a peace agreement, but is not necessarily in favour of shipping off lots of weapons to the Ukrainians and supporting the Ukrainian people.